say the protests outside the Tanzania embassy past weekend, 98% were Tanzanian. I think like 3 or 4 guys.
Sir, is there a reason why we cannot come inside?
You cannot come inside, okay? You cannot
what's the reason? What's the reason?
You're not invited to the room. You cannot come inside.
Why?
You cannot come inside.
No, what's the reason?
You're not on the list and you cannot come
I'm on a list. I can prove that. I'm on a list. I'm on a list. I can show that.
Okay.
I'm on a list. Do you want me to show that?
They said you can. They did not want you guys.
So they say we cannot come in. That's what they told you? No, sir.
There's a petition online. More than 7.5 million people have signed to stop Maasai eviction. So you can see on some of the video and pictures, there was 1 white guy and 2 or 3 African American guys. They were so concerned with the Maasai eviction, and some of them are our friends. We told them about the political situation back at home, that there's no rule of law, there's a lot of injustice, opposition are being treated as a second-class citizen. So they were concerned, and they say, we're going to show support. Yeah, we had this kind of people, like 3 or 4 Americans.
Well, Liberator, I know about the story of the Maasai eviction, the Maasai community members' eviction. Where is the matter at this moment?
Are you talking about where is the matter? Is how the situation stands?
Yes, situation iko vipi huko Tanzania as far as the community is concerned? Has their voice been heard? Ama bado wako pale tu, they are being told to move out of their ancestral land?
Being told to move kutoka eneo lao, and they have no choice. Actually, matter of fact, kuna mbunge wa Chama cha Mapinduzi ndani ya bunge aliambia serikali iwapelekee tanks wa Masai, wakawafukuza wakaondoka kule na vifaa. So the situation is not good. Wamewaforce kuwapeleka sehemu moja Tanga huko inaitwa Handeni, lakini they don't want to move. They don't want to go there because wamekuwa kwenye yale mazingira kwa muda mrefu sana, lakini serikali bado inaendelea kuwakazania waondoke, na inaonekana inaenda kuwalazimisha. So hii issue ni kubwa sana, hata huku nchi za wenzetu. Kama nilivyosema awali, kuna petition online yenye more than 7.5 million people wamesign. Kwa hiyo situation kwa Masai si nzuri sana.
Just taking you back to the event at the Marriott Washington Georgetown Hotel, you've mentioned the treatment, you've mentioned the fact that you were not even allowed into the premises, which is a very, very sad situation there. But I think one question I'd like to ask you now, given what happened on Saturday, have you heard from the president? Has the president said anything regarding the events and just the sentiments of the protesters who are outside the building?
Actually, there was a reaction from the president in this very same day in the meeting, which we saw through video clip because we were denied access to get in the meeting. So we show a video clip. Kuna clip Rais Samia amereact, amesema nimewaona watoto zangu nje ambao wamevaa t-shirts zina ujumbe na nimewaona wameshika mabango. Kwa hiyo I really appreciate the fact kwamba Rais Samia amepata ujumbe na I appreciate reaction yake kwamba ujumbe umemfikia. Na that's all we wanted. Tulitaka tumfikishie Rais Samia ujumbe kwamba Tanzania inataka katiba mpya leo. Sio kesho wala sio baada ya 2025. Tanzania inataka katiba mpya, na ukiangalia kwa makini kulikuwa kuna signs za uraia pacha, birthright, haki ya kuzaliwa Tanzania. Kuna kitu leo nataka niongelee kidogo hapa. Kuna hoja mbili. Kuna hoja inakuja hadhi maalum na inakuja hoja ya uraia pacha, dual citizenship. Hoja ya hadhi maalum ni hoja ya serikali na Chama cha Mapinduzi. Hoja ya dual citizenship ni hoja ya diaspora. Diaspora tunataka uraia pacha, tunataka haki yetu ya kuzaliwa. The problem ni kwamba kuna diaspora ambao wana nickname wanaitwa diaspora michongo, wanakuwa wanatumika na serikali kupropel hii agenda ya hadhi maalum, agenda ambayo diaspora hatutaki kabisa. Kwa hiyo nimeshukuru kwenye clip ya Rais Samia akiongea na Watanzania Washington DC past Saturday, ameeleza kwamba atakuwa msikilizaji na atasikiliza diaspora. Diaspora msimamo wao na tunataka ni uraia pacha, tunataka haki ya kuzaliwa, tunataka Mtanzania aliyezaliwa Tanzania basi aweze kumaintain uraia wake Tanzania. Hatutaki kitu kingine chochote kisio hadhi maalum. Hadhi maalum hiyo ni agenda ya serikali, sio agenda ya diaspora. Kujibu swali lako, kweli Rais Samia amereact kwa kile alichokiona nje ya ubalozi, na alisema nimeona watoto zangu wamevaa t-shirt zenye ujumbe na nimeona watoto zangu wameshika signs hata zifanyia kazi. Nafikiri hiyo ndio ilikuwa reaction ya Rais Samia Suluhu Hassan ambayo naijua mpaka sasa.
Wajua, I think when I really think about the whole situation, najiuliza, who was in the building if then you guys were not allowed? If your team was not allowed to access the building, then who was she addressing in the hotel?
Good question. She was addressing people who she wanted to address. She didn't want to face the reality. Actually, ingekuwa vizuri zaidi kama Rais Samia asingetumia backdoor, angepita mbele kama waziri wa fedha na waziri mwingine wa maliasili walipopita, wameona Messi. At least that was gonna be kind of two-way communication, kwamba anatusikia sisi na yeye ameenda kuongea ndani. So all she did is she went inside and she talked to us instead of engaging us. Kwa hiyo kilichofanyika pale, ameenda on the back door, akaenda kuongea na watu walikuwa Tanzania mle ndani. I don't wanna downplay hiyo, lakini hakutaka kupata ujumbe wetu, na to me it was very disrespectful. President has disrespected us, kwa sababu if we are Tanzanians, we come to our home, the embassy is our home, we come to our home, we want to send a message to our president, and our president uses a back door to sneak her way out so she doesn't see us. That was very disrespectful, and I hope this will never happen again, because as diaspora we have a network, and this is not gonna end well. It's gonna be a bumpy life. Diaspora no connection right now is speaking in Europe, here in America, diaspora Africa, Asia, and everywhere. Rais Samia atakuwa na face maandamano every now and then, kama yale ambayo tuliandika kwenye saini yetu hayapatiwi kuhusu, na baadhi ya mambo ambayo tuliandika kwenye saini zetu ilikuwa ni mauaji yaliyotokea miaka 6 iliyopita, utekaji nyara, watu kupigwa risasi. Kuna dada anaitwa Aquilina, she was a college student, she was shot to death in her head. Huyu dada alikuwa kwenye daladala, Kenya mnaita matatu. She was shot, innocent young lady with a bright future is dead. Family ya Aquilina deserve justice. Na haya ndio ambayo tulienda kumwambia Rais Samia, asije akategemea anaweza kapushi haya mambo under the rug na kufanya reconciliation. There is no gonna be reconciliation in Tanzania. It has to be truth reconciliation. Hawezi kufanya reconciliation kama wanapush stuff under the rug, and they have to engage all stakeholders. Kwa nilisema niliweke hii sawa, kuna agenda ambazo tulizipeleka, na hizi agenda zikijibiwa, sisi diaspora tutaandamana. We'll be good.
Liberata, I tend to ask myself this one question just regarding the treatment of your president, of your citizenry by the president that's in the diaspora. But as you talk about it, it feels like, of course, it does trickle down to your people back at home. Would you say perhaps for many of the Tanzanians, it seems like they have to really beg to get either service or audience from the president, so that they are able also to put their concerns and voice their concerns across to the president? What kind of relationship would you say the executive has with the citizenry in your country?
And this is the whole point there. This is the whole point. The president in Tanzania is everything. Look at this constitutional reform. Nobody is talking about judicial, nobody is talking about legislative, or nobody is talking about our representative. Everybody says president. We need a new constitution, and this is a relationship between president and the citizen. One person has so much power over 60 million people. Not only that, she has so much power over legislative, over and judicial. So we want new constitution which can guarantee rule of law, independence of government bureaus. We want independent parliament, we want independent judicial. So all these things brings like bad relationship between the president and the people she leads.
You know, would you say perhaps your president is afraid of addressing the citizens of her country, or is it just, outrightly she does not want to listen to them? What would you make of it? Is it a situation of she's afraid to face the citizens, or she just doesn't want to hear them?
I think, I'm not sure, this might has something to do with security, her intelligence around her. Nchi yetu imekuwa ni nchi ambayo viongozi wake wanataka kuwa treated kama ni new omnipotent, wanataka kuwa treated kama they don't like being confronted and told the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. That's why she did not want to see us right. It would be very nice if President used the front door so as at least acknowledge with you guys, we hear you, then go sneak behind the back door. So if you ask me, this has to do with her intelligence around her, possible it's her because the back stabs at her. Possible she doesn't like to hear this, and possible she afraid of being criticized. I just don't know.
Given now how things went, you went on Saturday outside the Marriott Hotel hoping to get audience from your president. As you've mentioned, she took the back door instead and did not want to face you and the other protesters who are there holding a peaceful protest. And instead, as you say, later on you see a video of her just, responding to your presence at the Marriott Hotel outside, where you say you are also barred from accessing the event where she was addressing, other Tanzanians and of course just other officials in the country. Given where you are at this moment, then what next? Now that you did not get direct audience with the president, what do you plan to do next to make your voice heard?
We're going to talk to the media. We're going to use social media. We're going to mobilize all Tanzania across the globe. And we're going to mobilize the Tanzania within the Tanzania. We're going to tell the Tanzania, this is our president. She's supposed to listen to us. She was in America because of our taxpayers' money. She traveled everywhere in the world because of us, because we pay taxes because of Tanzania. And she's obligated to listen to us. So we are calling for Tanzania all over the world, Watanzania wote, diaspora, lazima tuungane na tugombanie katiba mpya. Rais Samia atakapokwenda popote, iwe Tanzania, iwe Europe, iwe America, Watanzania unganeni, tengenezeni sign. Mwambie Rais Samia, tunataka katiba mpya. Tutakachokuwa tunakifanya kuanzia sasa hivi ni kuongea na media, kutoa elimu, kumobilize watu, waendelee kudemand katiba mpya. Matter of fact, Rais Samia mwenyewe yupo on a record akisema wakuu wa wilaya, wakuu wa mikoa, wakurugenzi, msiwazuie watu wakiwa wana signs, wana frustrations zao, wana demands wanataka kunionyesha. Kwa hiyo wakija, msiwe mnawazuia, nikiwa nakija tunakuja kwenye mikoa yenu. Kwa hiyo I'm calling for Tanzanians to keep doing this. Endeleeni kumuonesha Rais Samia kwamba tunataka katiba mpya sasa popote pale aliko, na hili itaongezea pressure na eventually naamini kabisa Rais Samia na chama chake cha Mapinduzi watakuja kukaa mezani na kuridhia mchakato wa katiba uanze immediately.
Liberator, we just went back live on YouTube, and I'm happy that we are back live on YouTube. We do apologize for the technical hitch we had earlier on. We are happy to have our audience back on. Liberator, I may just take you back a bit just to give context to our conversation today, because I feel it's very pertinent. And as we say, like you've mentioned, Tanzanians need to hear this particular interview and understand why their voice is very important. Just to give a retake of our conversation today, we are talking about the President Samia Suluhu and her treatment of a peaceful protest where different individuals, like we've had today, among them NGO members, official members from different NGOs, activists, and of course just Tanzanians in the diaspora, trying to get audience with the president on Saturday at the Marriott Washington Georgetown Hotel. Of course, as we've had today, the reception was not as favorable. And as Liberator, you've been telling us, you tried to get audience, and at the door of the hotel, you were turned back and told you are not in the list of visitors. Bring us a bit up to speed, just giving us details about the event, to arriving at the hotel and then being told, hey, you cannot access the building. Bring us up to speed one more time.
Yes, like I said earlier, we started, all this drama started at the parking lot. That afternoon, they sent out a message giving us an address that everybody should park on this parking lot. Sasa tumefika pale kwenye parking lot, tukamkuta Mtanzania ambaye mimi namfahamu, ni afisa wa ubalozi wa Tanzania pale. He works at the embassy. He literally profiled me na akaanza kuniuliza maswali, wewe mbona hujaregister? Nikamwambia nimeregister. Akasema sijaona jina lako kwenye nani. Nikamwambia I have registered. And actually he had no business to ask me that question kwa sababu that was not embassy parking lot. It was Marriott parking lot. Anyway, nikamwambia kwamba nimeregister. So nilianza kuwa profiled kwa sababu nishakuwa blacklisted.
Sir, is there a reason why we cannot come inside?
You cannot come inside, okay? You
What-
cannot post.
What's the reason? What's the reason?
You're not invited to the room. You cannot come inside.
Why?
You cannot come
No,
inside.
no, what's the reason?
You're not on the list and you cannot come
I'm
inside.
on a list. I can prove that. I'm on a list. I'm on a list. I can show that.
Okay.
I'm on a list. Do you want me to show that?
They said you cannot. They said
After that drama, here we go to the main influences on in the Marriott, ambapo President Samia ndio alikuwa anaongea. Here's an African American guy stopping Tanzanians from going to see their president, and this hurts me the most. Like I said earlier, Leah, it hurts me the most. Like I'm going to see my president, who has been in the United States for about 2 weeks. And here is an American guy stops me, and when we asked him very simple question, why are you stopping us? He told us you are not on the list. And I said, we on the list and we are registered. I can prove that.
Liberatus,
He doesn't need-
I mean, if you can just help us understand, what proof do you have? Since the gentleman was saying you were not welcome to the meeting, that you were not supposed to be part of the meeting, had you registered for the meeting? And if you can just help us understand, how did you go about the registration and maybe just confirmation for your attendance of the meeting?
Yes, there was an email address sent out on the flyer. Whoever wants to go to the to see the president should register the meeting. So I did register. I sent my email and I received a confirmation that I've been registered and see you on 23rd. I have that email. I will do the screenshot and I'll post that on my Twitter account when we finish this interview. So I was registered and we had happiness was registered and we had Kudai and other guy who were registered, and I was the one told them, guys, you must register so we don't face any drama, and we did. However, we were blacklisted. This American guy stopped us from going to see our president, and he's telling that you are not on the list. And I said, no, we were registered. And he gave another excuse, saying that they told us you are not supposed to be here. They don't want you. After I said to be precise, he said they do not want you here.
I mean, Liberatus, who do you think they were, under whose instruction rather do you think they were? Because I do know that, you know, going just by some of the messages that members of the opposition have been tweeting out, saying that anyone who was wearing attire that had the slogan of Katiba Mpya, meaning a new constitution in Swahili, that's basically the movement that we've been seeing a lot of the opposition pushing through for a new constitution. Who would you say is behind just you and the other protesters being told, hey, you can't access the building?
Is a President Samia and her people, because they do not want Katiba Mpya. Hawataki Katiba Mpya now. They don't want new constitution. So all they do, they try to deny us access to go to the meeting, thinking that if we go there, we're going to be visible. They try to block our visibility. New constitution is inevitable. It's just something need to be done right now and get rid of this and do other things. So the government and President Samia do not want to hear that message. And we carry the road message, not just a Katiba Mpya. We carry the message about dual citizenship, as I've said earlier. We, as a diaspora, we need dual citizenship, not special status. Like I said earlier, these two agendas, kuna agenda mbili hapa, agenda uraia pacha na agenda ya hadhi maalum. Agenda ya hadhi maalum ni ya serikali. Agenda ya uraia pacha ni ya diaspora, sisi wa Tanzania ambao tumezaliwa Tanzania. Sasa it's so unfortunate, kuna diaspora ambao wameungana na serikali wanaanza kusukuma agenda ya serikali ya hadhi maalum. Hatuna agenda ya hadhi maalum, agenda yetu dual citizenship. So we had a lot of messages, and it's so unfortunate. President Samia amesema serikali na CCM hawezi kutoa uraia pacha. This is a call for diaspora. Who do we support? Do we support people who care about our rights, or we just support anybody? Tunahitaji katiba mpya, message ambayo Rais Samia na watu wake wataka kuiona. Wanataka uraia pacha, message ambayo Rais Samia na watu wake hawataki kuiona, na ndio maana tukawa blacklisted and stopped from going to the hall to see our president.
One would ask this question, Liberata, why does the president and of course her government oppose so powerfully the formation of a new constitution in your country?
Can you fade away? I'm sorry.
So my question is, why do you think, if you can just tell us in your understanding, why do you feel perhaps, and why do you see the president and her government looking like they're really opposing the introduction of a new constitution in your country? Why are they opposed to a new constitution if then it is for the good of the country?
Because the current constitution guarantees them the power. The new constitutions will guarantee each and every Tanzania the right to vote, the right to free and fair electoral committee, the right and the independence of judicial, independence of legislative, and independence of everybody. So as we see, the current constitution gives president all the power. President Samia has the power over parliament. President Samia appoints 10 MPs in the bunge. Kwa hiyo katiba sasa hivi inampa mamlaka makubwa sana rais, na CCM wanaipenda hiyo kwa sababu inaendelea kwa guarantee power. Rais sasa hivi anaweza akachagua wabunge 10, anamchagua secretary wa bunge, ana appoint majaji na all this stuff, and all these people have to pledge allegiance to the president, not to the constitution. And this is fundamentally the problem we have. That's why we need a new constitution. Lakini CCM hawataki. This is a very simple. CCM hawataki katiba mpya kwa sababu itarudisha mamlaka ya wananchi mikononi mwa wananchi na sio Dodoma na Dar es Salaam kwa mtu mmoja, Rais Samia.
You mentioned that you felt a little hurt by the treatment from the president, and that just asks you, makes you ask that question. The feeling of Tanzanians, you just being one of them. How do you think Tanzanians feel when they see their president not giving audience to their voice, not giving audience to their concerns? What do you think the feeling is for the Tanzanians in your country?
Same way I feel, most of Tanzania feel the same. The feeling is mutual. If you go to my Twitter handle, or Tanzania Open Heart, there's nothing harder because we have a WhatsApp group, we have a social media, we have the way we communicate. It's really hard. And most of the people who were there with the fact that we as Tanzania going to see our president, imagine that there, we're going to see our president. Here is an American guy, stepwise, denied access to see our president. I want this to echo to President Samia here. We were denied an access to see you because we wore Katiba Mpya t-shirts, and you are our president. And the feeling is just mutual. I spoke to a lot of people. They were not happy, and they do not like this. This has to stop. We cannot be stopped from seeing our president. peaceful demonstration. And this was order from President Samia and her people. They ordered us, that security should stop us from getting to the meeting.
Would you say this is the nature of the presidency in your country, or is it just something that is peculiar and, you know, something that's just happening with your current president, Samia Suluhu?
No, this is just ingoing behavior. I mean, I'll say President Kikwete was a bit better. President Kikwete was a bit better. At least we had a room to express and all this stuff. There's a time he came there, remember, I was able to get in even though I was kind of in the opposition. But it's kind of CCM behavior. Or during my full time was the worst, and what's happened this past Saturday to President Samia is unimaginable. It's just incomprehensible. It's unbelievable. A Tanzanian in diaspora denied access to see their president. Just see, how does it feel there, if I may ask? I don't want to interview anyway.
Wow.
It's unimaginable.
So are we saying that you did not manage at all to see the president, and perhaps has the president responded to your visit at the hotel as much as you are barred from accessing the meeting?
I'm sorry, you fade away again. What was the question?
Sorry about that, Liberator. My question to you is, are you saying that you did not manage to secure a meeting, even just a little bit of audience with your president, Samia Suluhu? And just additionally, has she responded to your visit to the hotel and trying to get audience with her?
We did not have any appointment, and we did not have even an access on how to contact the president. However, I'm very grateful, and I really appreciate President Samia's reaction during the meeting. She has acknowledged to see us. Aliongea Rais Samia, nimewaona watoto wangu walikuwa nje, wameshika mabango ambayo yana ujumbe na wamevaa t-shirt. Kwa hiyo I really appreciate President Samia's reaction that she saw us. Other than that, I don't think there's anything else she has done so far. We are waiting. The matter of fact, he said she saw us, and I think there'll be steps taken towards our message.
All right. And just given the situation as it is right now, I know earlier on you did mention that you do not plan to end the affair there. Just as much as you did not get audience with her, it does not mean that you will not continue pushing for audience with her and just being able to push forth the agenda, like you've mentioned, addressing of human rights violations. You've mentioned the need for a new constitution. So I just want you to help us understand the situation in Tanzania, because not too long ago, we saw the opposition leader, Freeman Mbowe, having a court case, and lucky enough, he was actually able to get off the hook. But this after, you know, a prolonged court process where he was being told that, you know, you have violated the constitution. He was being accused of terror activities. What do you think is next for addressing some of these issues? You mentioned the human rights violations, the need for a new constitution.
Simple. We, as a diaspora, we are very determined. This is just the beginning. It's going to be a bumpy ride, especially when we don't see any action taken towards our message. Human rights, democracy, rule of law, and new constitutional reform now. If these things are not resolved, we're going to keep protesting. Everywhere President Samia will go, we'll face demonstration. If she goes in Europe, if she goes in Asia, if she comes back in America, she'll face the same thing. Like I said earlier, diaspora has our network, and we communicate this message. And a lot of people have been sending me text messages and been calling me that they missed the protest. And next time, it's going to be even big. As you have mentioned, kesi ya Mheshimiwa Mbowe, tulifuatilia sana hii kesi. The case was a joke, and it was a joke, and it was so unfortunate. Mr. Mbowe had to go through all that trauma. It was so unfortunate. President Samia had to get to that level, putting an opposition releasing without any clear statement, without offering apology. Mheshimiwa Mbowe ana deserve an apology. Akulina tumeongelea kesi ya Akulina, tumeongelea kina Ben Sanane, tumeongelea kina Azori Rwanda. We send this message to President Samia. Families za Akulina, Mawazo, Ben Sanane, Azori Rwanda deserve justice. Until this mysterious stuff resolved, then we be quiet. If we don't know what's happened to Ben Sanane, what had happened to Azori Rwanda, we will never stop. And it's very clear, as diaspora, we are so privileged. Where we live, we have clean water, we have jobs, we have electricity all the time, but all we need, we want to see human rights. We want to see human rights, we want to see justice in our country. We're not gonna stop. Ni lazima waliopiga risasi Akulina waletwe kwenye vyombo vya sheria. Akulina alipigwa risasi na polisi. Mheshimiwa Tundu Lissu alipigwa risasi na watu wasiojulikana Dodoma. Ben Sanane amepotea. Motives zinaonekana. Azori Rwanda, mwandishi wa habari, alipotea wakati anafanya coverage ya mauaji ya Kibiti. Watu zaidi ya 400 Kibiti waliuawa. Tunahitaji justice kwa hawa. Diaspora wanataka justice and they're calling for justice all over. If these cases are not resolved, protests will be non-stop every time President Samia comes to America or she goes to Europe.
All right, Liberatus Mwang'ombe, thank you so much for making time for us, just shedding light on Saturday's events. Of course, just a reflection of the voice of the Tanzanians, like you say, Liberatus. Maybe just a final message to your people back at home. What would you tell them?
Thank you, Rhea, and I really appreciate you giving me this opportunity to interview you. It was a really great time. My message to Tanzania is one. We have a couple of generations now have been gone and we've been seen. I understand the baby boomers now, they are gone. And we have generation X and generation Z, Alpha. We need young generation to stand up. If you do not stand, actually let me say this in Swahili. Watanzania wenzangu, especially vijana, sitaki kuwaignore wazee au watu walika mbalimbali. Nao tunawahitaji. Tunapaswa kusimama, tunapaswa kugombania katiba mpya. Tunapaswa kupata katiba ambayo itaondoa mamlaka kwa mtu mmoja ambaye ni rais na kuyapeleka mamlaka kwa sisi wananchi. Tunahitaji katiba ambayo itatugarantii uhuru wa mahakama, uhuru wa bunge na executive yenyewe ijitegemee. Katiba ya sasa haitupi hivi vitu. Tunataka katiba ambayo itagarantii human rights, itagarantii chaguzi huru. Katiba mpya ianze sasa na